Thank you, Mr. President. I move House Bill 24-1084 on third reading and final passage. Ask for an aye vote.
Is there any discussion? Senator Fields.
Good morning, Mr. President and colleagues. I stand here in strong support of House Bill 1084. 1084 is concerning the increase of the Earned Income Tax Credit. If you know the history and the legacy behind the Earned Income Tax Credit, it's to know that it's been supported and endorsed and sponsored in advance by President Ronald Reagan. Long time ago. And the reason he did so is because he wanted to lift people up who was experiencing poverty across the nation of the United States. He saw that was an opportunity to recognize the hard-working people across the nation, to give them a tax credit that they earned. This House Bill 1084 is about earned tax credit for the people who are at the lower bracket of tax earners. These are not your corporations. These are not your high earners. These are the people in your community that work hard every single day to fuel our economy. They're not insignificant and they're not disposable. These are the people, when you go to that high-priced restaurant, they may be a valet driver. And they're taking your car and they're parking it, so when you're done doing your dinner, you give them their keys, they give you your car. They may be the waitress. Who takes your order and she delivers your meal. These are workers. They're doing the best they can under extreme circumstances. If you look at who's eligible for the Earned Income Tax Credit, they're not wealthy, but they have families. They have children. And this Earned Income Tax Credit allows for them to get a little relief. It allows them, for our state and the federal government, to put money in the pockets of working families. There's millions of them. They're in Pueblo, they're in Boulder, they're in Alamosa, they're in Vail. They're in Colorado Springs, they're in Aurora, they're in Denver. They're everywhere. And they're the people that we represent. There's never a wrong time to uplift working families. This is what this bill does. It already passed. But we had to amend it. We're here today to ask you to pass it again for working families in every single district that is represented here. Rural Colorado, suburban Colorado, urban Colorado, your family, your cousin, your mom. Not everyone is earning $150,000 a year. I don't even earn that. But we have a responsibility as a government and as lawmakers to be concerned about those who are less than. They earned this tax credit. The government has said that they earned this tax credit. And what this tax credit does, I talked about this because we had people testifying about how important it is to get this tax credit for them to maybe pay rent so they can't be unhoused. They don't want to be unhoused. Maybe it is to pay for a medical bill. Maybe it is that I want my child to have access to curricular activities at school, and it costs me an extra $100. And some people have to stretch their paychecks, and maybe they can't afford to put their kid in an extracurricular activity at school, or buy them their uniform, or to take the bus to get to practice. This earned credit is for them. It's for them. It's earned tax credit for people who don't make a lot of money in the state of Colorado. And it's not just for my district. It's for everyone that's suffering with trying to make ends meet to live in the state of Colorado. We have a unique opportunity as lawmakers to lift them up and give them that extra boost that they need to survive. You might not can relate to it, but I know people who deal with food insecurities. I see them every day. And I see them doing the best they can, taking public transportation. Where I live right out front of an RTD bus drive, which is the 15. If you don't know 15, then you should, because that's the transportation access for people to get to work in my community. I see them early in the morning taking the bus to go to hotels. When they go to those hotels, they're cleaning up rooms. They're making beds. They deserve an earned income tax credit. They deserve our affirmation as lawmakers that we care about poor people or the middle class people enough for them to get a tax credit that so many of our corporations and other people get. And it's a small amount. You might think it's insignificant, but for the people I serve and the people that you serve, this is what they need for them to address the issues and the challenges and the circumstances in their household. I don't have insight into what's going on in their household, but I can tell you, they're telling me, and it's clear to me who I represent and what I stand for. They're telling me that they need this earned income tax credit for them to continue to thrive in the great state of Colorado. And for us to say, no, you don't deserve it, after they've earned it, and after we already passed it, doing a special session, is baffling to me. So I'm going to close my comments by asking each of you to think about your districts and think about the hardworking people in those districts and vote for this opportunity for them to be lifted up by this earned income tax credit. Vote yes on House Bill 1084.